All right, we're gonna be watching Quagmire, who's playing Winston. This is on Numbani, Diamond 3 on PC. Felt completely helpless in game against Smurfs. I went to this match knowing I was up against Smurfs. There's a 3-stack on the other team. The pound side person, Shag, and Angelic. That's the Winston, Ash, and on the other team. She chatted on me and my team in the previous game. In my estimation, the enemy Ash was cracked, GM slash top 500 easily. The enemy Monkey was decent, GM slash Masters maybe, I don't know. And the enemy Ana was the kitten of the group. This game I had a DPS duo on my team, so I was like, okay, it's possible they're GM Smurfs too, we can win. But looking back at the replay and seeing how they approach engages and their mechanics during duels makes me think they're not even legitimate diamonds. On Numbani's second point attack, everyone knows you're supposed to chase staggers, take as much space as possible and set up for the next fight, but for some inexplicable reason, they just sit on cart. WTF. I know I have stuff to work on, e.g. my Winston primals are bad, but in this game I felt like the DPS diff was insurmountable. Before you say don't blame teammates, please watch the VOD and tell me how I could have won with two dogshit DPSers repeatedly getting shut down because this situation, fighting multiple Smurfs, is getting more and more common and it's frustrating. So, I have seen the replay. I don't even need to watch your DPS perspective. If I were you and I played this game, I cannot possibly imagine how I could blame anybody else other than myself. I'm not saying that your teammates don't make mistakes, right? And maybe the other team is, they are smurfing. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch it. But I look at this game and I'm like, you make so many mistakes. How could you possibly have any time or energy to blame anybody else? Because your Winston play is very ineffectual, and we're going to go over why. And then your hog play is even worse. Your hog play is basically useless. And this is what drives me nuts. When I try to help people, it's look, if you want to get better, right? If you want to get to Masters one day and onwards to GM from there, your perspective has to be, what could I have done differently? Because you can't control your teammates, right? They're going to be different every single game. So why even spend energy worrying about them or how they're playing? Look at your play and think, how could I have played better? So you're asking, hey, could you win this game? Yeah, I think you could have won this game. I mean, maybe not you, because you're not good enough, but could you have won it if you're better? Not GM level, but I'm looking at you're making very basic mistakes over and over again. Okay, you're at the level right now where I think that you are good enough at Winston that if the enemy team doesn't really understand how to play against you, you're gonna roll them. But if they do, you get shut down really hard and you don't know how to do anything other than repeat the exact same techniques over and over and over again, and then it all goes haywire. Okay, so we're not going to spend this time watching your DPS, right? Or the enemy team. Because, I watched the game through. I did not see any moment where I'm like, oh, wow, I think your team is crazy bad or the team is crazy good. What I see is a tank that continually fails to create space over and over and over again. And if I'm doing that on tank, I think, why would I expect my team to win if I can't do my job? Don't worry about if your DPS are getting picks or whatever. Your job is to create space. And if you're not doing that, then the value isn't there. So let's watch. Okay. So let's watch. Okay. So we're going here. All right, you know straights there. Okay, good. Good, fine. All right. So you're charging right now. So you're looking for a jump or not. All right. You reload. That's fine. I would not jump while you're reloading. Think you just wait half a second and you're done reloading, and then you can charge while you jump for the combo, right? You're already mid-diamond. I don't understand how you... this is just very sloppy, and that's a big difference between you and higher ranks is you can't be sloppy, right? Everything has to be done with precision and intent. There's no, none of this, sloppy, oh, I just go when I go. No, do you have health? Do you have ammo, right? Are you ready? Are you charging a zap for optimal play? Why are you jumping right now while you're still in the reloading animation? So you go up, and I'm going to note the first thing that absolutely jumps out to me, right? In comparison to a Diamond Winston versus a Masters Winston versus a GM Winston, okay? You're going to take jumps that are way too high over and over and over again, right? That yellow line was actually inaccurate. It's actually even higher than that. This line is what Diamond and below looks like, okay? This line over here is what Masters looks like, and this line over here is what GM looks like. The more airtime that you have, the easier it is for them to evade you and have time to react to you. Sleep dart, coach gun, just get away. You want to get onto them as soon as possible, 90% of the time. Right? These floaty jumps where you're in the air for a crazy long time are really bad. You want to get on top of them as soon as possible to apply damage, right? The landing damage, the full landing damage, pressure, right? Zap, 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 zap. And then if they coach gun you, you don't float in the air for a while. You just get coach gun backward on the ground. You can immediately start advancing again. So you get knocked backwards, right? And now you're basically off the platform, right? You go all the way back here and now you start walking forwards. So that's the biggest first problem that jumps out. Your jumping technique is bad, okay? For diamond and below, yeah, maybe it's fine. But if you're like, look, you want to play against better players, this looks really bad. It gives the enemy way too much time to react to you. That's number one. Number two, your bubbles are bad. And before we go any further, I would note that pretty much all of Winston play, other than his ultimate, is jumps and bubbles. And arguably his ultimate is just jumping. So if you can't jump and you can't bubble, you're not going to be able to advance any farther in the ranks, because that is like everything that Winston is. So the bubble here is bad. Why is the bubble bad? Well, what's the bubble for, right? The bubble is to take damage so that I can keep zapping the enemy. If it doesn't prevent me or doesn't allow me to zap the enemy with the bubble, then I should not use the bubble, right? There are minor exceptions like, oh, hey, I'm definitely going to die here, right? If I don't, unless I use the bubble, or to block an important cooldown like sleep dart. But beyond that, the overall majority of the time, the bubble should be placed to allow you to chase the enemy or stay with the enemy and keep zapping. Does this bubble allow you to chase the enemy and keep zapping? Not the Winston, because we don't care about the Winston. We all know at Diamond, you have to know you do not zap the tank, right? That's not a priority for you at all. So if you're over here, okay, and then you can bubble, great. That's excellent. Like, then you can keep on zapping. But if you're over here and the bubble's like this, what does the bubble do? Well, it's certainly not allowing you to zap the back line, right? You're way too far back, and you should have known that from the moment you could cut your coach gun. You're like, oh, wait, I'm not going to get it. That's fine. You can just chill, because you're at full health, right? You get coach gun back, fine. Just step back, get healed for like 100 health, and then go in with the next jump. A note here is that Ash's coach gun has a longer cooldown than jump does, right? It's 10 seconds versus Winston's 6. So you can jump, bait the first coach gun, right? Then wait to the cooldown, and then jump Ash again, and she won't have coach gun. And then you have bubble. But you're just wasting the bubble here. And now we can see this is a complete failure of a jump. You might feel like, oh, I'm zapping the Winston. Who cares? A, the Winston's also zapping you. B, the Winston's also zapping your backline. And C, you're an offense. Your job is to do something. If you are failing to do anything, you are losing on offense. On defense, you are winning if the offense fails to do anything. That's the definition of defense. So you might look at this and be like, oh, this is okay dive. I look at this and be like, no, this is bad play, right? On a 0 to 100 scale where 50 is average, this is like a 25. You're really not doing anything here. You're not burning any resources or forcing anything. The only person who's doing anything here are your DPS, who are actually in the back line forcing out cooldowns and getting people low. Imagine if you were here, right? Or if you were ready to jump in again, you just wipe them and you're good. But what I see here is a Winston who is not doing anything, right? So yeah, okay, you're sitting here, great. Okay, but really, I don't really care about that because again, the Winston's not my priority. So right now, you have ammo and you have jump, right? I'd step out here and look like, hey, look, is there anybody else for me to get? Because that's my priority, right? Okay, so I think it's fair right now. Be like, look, DPS are down. I wouldn't even go for the tracer because you're just gonna get farmed right now. Like, think about it. You already know that you're down your Sombra, and you already saw your Reaper engage. Okay, so your Reaper's probably out of the picture. Whether or not he lives or dies is irrelevant, right? He's out of the picture, not able to help you. Why are you dropping the tracer right now? Tracer can easily evade you. And it's not like forcing out her blinks is going to do anything right now. All you're going to do is farm her ult charge at this moment in time. You go in. All right. You also miss the melee. Once again, you can see your jumps are too high. Right? Too high. You need to get lower. See how much airtime you get? You want to be very, very low right now. So you slam. And because of your airtime, you miss the landing. So you don't even apply that damage. And now the Tracer just farms you. Right? Now, Kiriko comes to you to try to help you out, which was a mistake, but like the fact that you're in is a mistake, right? Now you try to double down. Again, you're down 3 players right now. Why are you engaging? Like, even if you're like, oh, well, Kiriko just died, you're still down 2 players. Why are you trying to engage? If you kill, right? Who's this now? The Ashe? If you kill the Ashe right now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. The Ashe is still going to be back before you get 5. The kill does not matter here. The number one thing is just get out and do not feed any more ult charge, right? So, again, you're going to go back here, and then you die and get chased down. And now Tracer's at 40% ulti. What are you accomplishing? Why are you engaging? Like, this is what is so frustrating. When people are always complaining about their teammates or whatever, like, look, we just watched through one life, and we saw you make big mistake after big mistake after big mistake, okay? We see fundamental issues with the way you jump, fundamental issues with the way that you bubble, fundamental issues with your target priority and jump timing. I don't care what my team is doing if I can't do my job, right? Like, it looks so bad. And granted, it's like, okay, maybe the enemy team is good, right? And they're punishing you in a way that you're not like comfortable with, right? Because you're not experienced with that. But like, the whole point of getting better is to be good against better competition. And we're not seeing any of that. We see a ton of really bad habits here over and over and over again. Okay, second engage. So Somber just got killed. It happens, right? Tracer's really good at tracking down Somber. It happens. Just chill. Don't do anything. Don't engage. Don't do anything. Just wait for your Somber, right? Your Somber will be back in 20 seconds. It's fine. Just chill. You don't need to do anything. So we jump in right now. Okay. As I mentioned, there's no reason for you to be engaging right now, but fine, right? You go back. You know, if you want to do that, at least you forced coach again. That's okay. But your Somber's still not back yet and still won't be back for another 15 seconds, right? 10, 15 seconds. So just chill. You definitely should not be engaging right now. You do not want to be engaging right now. You don't want to be engaging right now. You're just feeding ult charge to the enemy team. Right? There's no need to do this. Is your Somber back yet? She's just coming back right now, but she's not set up. But yet you're looking for the engage now. But why? You're still fighting into a 4 and 5 situation. Like, why are you intentionally taking a fight where you're outnumbered? And I don't even know who you're jumping here. I think you're trying to get the Ana here, maybe to avoid the coach gun. But like, this is a really tough angle because now they can all just turn on you and you don't have any support from your DPS because your Somber is still walking back. Right? Imagine if your Somber was set up for this, like over here, right? Or even on low ground to catch people. Then you could do something. But you're walking into a bad fight right now. Your Kiriko comes in with you, which I understand. Kiriko is like often a really good ally to support, to like dive in with you and provide damage. But the Winston's doing a good job jumping in with her as well, and so she's getting shut down, right? Now you're zapping squishies, and like this might be a good engage in a different scenario, but it's not because your DPS are not ready to help you. And that is your fault, not theirs. Right? You're the one who controls the timing of the initiation. Why are you initiating the wrong times? It like looks bad, like over and over again. I would also note here. So you go over here and you start advancing, okay? But like, I don't want to put the bubble here because I can't zap them from here. I want to put the bubble a little bit forward so I can walk forward and zap everyone all the way to the end. Like, I want to be standing here and then have the bubble down so that I can walk forwards. But you notice right now, you can only zap the Ana, and as soon as you actually want to zap the rest of the team, you're outside of the bubble. You're putting the bubble down too early. It's like basic bubble technique. Okay, this is really common for mid-rank Winstons, is that they put bubble down every jump in, regardless of what's going on. They could be zapping like a Life Weaver who is not looking at them, or Mercy, right? And they'll put down bubble when as soon as they jump in, because that's their automatic reaction. But it's bad play. Your bubble is down way too early. You want the bubble down now, right? So that way it shields off. And notice how much damage you're going to take, right now, and you're getting shredded. But the bubble is still alive. The whole point of the bubble is the bubble is supposed to take damage instead of you. But now you're critically wounded because your bubble technique is bad, right? Like, that has to be like a takeaway here, is like over and over again. You could have, I would just wipe this team just with basic jumping and bubble technique. But you just can't do it. Right? You're not seeing the mistakes that you're making because you're overly focused on, hey, this is what your team is doing, right? Or you're like your primal. Like, yeah, your primals are bad. We'll see that very soon. But like, who cares about what your team is doing when you can work it on what you could do, right? Your teammates are not going to be there in every single game. All right, so we're gonna go again. Again, as a reminder, right? A really good way to bait this is that you can actually jump over here, right? See if the Ashe is going to coach gun you, and then wait and go again. But if you are going to jump in, right, you want to take those really close, tight, quick jumps, which I don't think you mechanically can do, but you really want to take the really close jumps where you barely get up in ledge to give them as little time as possible to use abilities to stop you, right? But like, this is insane. At higher ranks, you are 100% slept here. The fact that the Ana misses this is nuts. Like, you are a giant target moving in a predictable way. She like over aims this is bonkers. I think at even in mid diamond, I think most of the time you should be sleeping on the ground here and completely shut down. You are very, very lucky for that to not have done anything. But we land on the Ana, okay? I would also note that your pathing here is bad. So now you jump, and you know she misses the sleep. So at this point, she has nothing to stop you. You should basically be point blank with her, following her on their way out. So you should land on her and stay body to body with her as she walks away, and then put down the bubble so that the enemy team can't assist. Right? So it looks like this. You should be here, she should be here, and the bubble should be like this, which stops the team from doing anything. That's what this should look like. But as we can see, what's actually going to happen is you're going to land on her and you're not going to be able to track her. So you're going to land, and you see how you go to the left here? So that's problem number one. You're going to eventually lose contact with her because she's able to get distance and walk away from you. Problem number two is your bubble is once again really bad. You put it down too early, right? A, you're not really taking any meaningful damage. You don't need to put bubble down the second you start taking damage as Winston, right? You can take a little bit of damage, see what the enemy does, and then use bubble reactively from there. B, your bubble isn't even on the platform, right? It drops off the walkway, and now you have no bubble. If I do this ever, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to lose, right? Like, you can't be doing this over and over and over again. It's like, if I miss sleep on a tank, I just assume I'm going to lose the fight. I can't be missing sleeps on tanks. That's not a thing. Like, it just like, unless I get bumped right when I pop it, I would never expect to miss the sleep, right? Or missing an honor grenade, right? Or missing a BAP lamp. Like, if I miss a BAP lamp, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to lose. That's on me. Like, that's my fault. That's what I can control. It's a very easy skill to hit. I cannot be missing that. You can't be missing your bubble. Like, this is really, really bad, right? And now, instead of being able to zap 3 people right now, which is going to do 225 damage right now. If you could just walk forwards and zap them all and put them bubble, you're doing 225 damage and you're not taking any damage. And then you can just follow them down after you reload, keep whacking them until they burn you down, then pop Primal and carry the fight. But instead, you walk forwards and you're like, oh god, I'm in trouble, and I pop Primal. You're not in trouble, first of all, even without the bubble. Even with your bubble doing basically nothing. You're at 505 health and you pop ultimate? Why? Why don't you just keep zapping them? There's 3 enemies there. You're going to do more damage with the zap than with Primal, A. B, you're not good at Primal, so I definitely would not be thinking, oh, I should get the Primal as soon as possible to carry the fight. Your Primal skills are not good, so why would we be trying to Primal as soon as possible when we have plenty of health and there's 3 close-range squishies all clubbed together? It just... Again, why am I blaming teammates? This is nuts! This is like actually crazy. Like, what are we doing here? So, okay, fine. If we're going to do this, all right, you've hit the Ana, A. B is, am I trying to kill the Ana or am I trying to kill the rest of the team? If I'm trying to kill Ana, I should chase after the Ana, right? But I think it's reasonable to be like, okay, I knocked Ana on low ground, maybe she's going to die. The next thing is I jump here, land here, then I knock them all towards my team, right? Because away from cover, away from a safety. But is that what happens? No. Okay, you hit the Ana, then you land to the right, and then, okay, well, great, the bat dies instantly, which is excellent, not really up to you, right? Then the Ashe goes, so this should be, if anything, a short jump, right? Looks like a standard jump. Then Ashe goes, okay, and then now what? Now I jump back up top, but Juno's putting in work here, right? Kill 2. Then you miss the Tracer, and then we miss everything. So, looking from the start of the Primal, you hit one swing on the Ana at point blank, okay? I jump, I do land the jump. I mean, BAP dies before you land, but like you would have landed the jump, okay? You miss this jump, you miss all the swings, you miss that jump, you miss all the heroes there. By the record, you missed the Winston and the Tracer as you went up. For the record, very, very common for Winston on Primal Rage is that people will aim too high. So for Primal Rages, I think a lot of Winstons actually aim 45-degree downwards. So you miss everybody, you miss the jump and the punches here, right? Then you miss the Ana again because you can't do a short jump, apparently. Like, that was definitely not a short jump. That was a standard jump. If you don't know what a short jump is, you should watch a video on it. I have video resources. There are plenty of them out there, but like basic Winston jumping technique is important. I think for Primal, you almost always are doing short jumps, right? It's like a very basic part of playing Winston. It's like painful to watch you miss these over and over again. Right? Now you're zapping people. I would note here, again, you go in, you have 506 health. The Ana is not looking at you, right? The Tracer, sort of shooting, but A, you're full health, and B, the Tracer's not full health, so it's unlikely she's going to kill me here. And like, I know the bob's here, but you're not actually taking any damage yet. But you put down the bubble here, but again, the bubble is too early. I would just chase her and be like, hey, look, what's going to actually happen here, right? And then try to put down, like, bubble reactively a little later. Now you get slept, right, while you're in range of the bob, right? As opposed to there, maybe you could bubble and then chase after her. And now we're sitting here. And you're eventually, I think, going to lose that fight because they have better sustain. And then you're out. So, same deal, right? So, deep jump, probably not going to work, right? Between sleep there and coach gun, just jump the BAP, right? Jumping the BAP here is perfectly good value, right? Forces the BAP down, etc. Like, the BAP doesn't really have a lot of options here, right? He has to drop down, you zap him, right? Probably if he's smart, he jumps up, boots back up. But that's good. That's good value. And you're set up, right? Then you're set up over here, right? With jump, you get healed up, and then you can jump back over up here, make an easy jump. Once again, another bubble that is no good. All right? So you're looking for a target. You go in the Ana, right? But you're super purple. You're going to get shredded right now. You have bubble, but like that's not going to help you against the Winston, or the Tracer can get inside of it, and then you die again. And then you're eventually going to take this, not really because of anything you did. Like, by the time you come back to this fight, you have like 3 people on point. Like, you did almost nothing. You can't like watch this and think, oh, hey, I'm playing so well in Winston. Or you like you say, besides the Primal, like everything here is bad. Like, we can't go one engage, one jump without pointing out like a million things that have gone wrong, right? Core aspects of Winston's jump and bubble technique that you just can't do. So, cool. You get pickoffs. I do want to note here, you're like, oh, on second point, everybody knows to step up and not stay on cart. I mean, everyone is pushed up here. I don't really know what we're looking for, right? The support's on cart, and that's it. It's support, right? Yeah. Yeah, everyone's... I think you mean now everyone is sitting on cart. Okay, I understand. So this is actually not unreasonable, because no matter what, you guys have won the first fight, and so you're trying to get into 2-fight territory by moving the cart faster. If everyone's set up over here, because of how far back the Kiriko is, there's a very high chance that you're going to get into a 4v5 situation, especially since they're running a dive tank. So I don't think it's unreasonable to actually be moving the cart here, right? I don't think everybody playing up here can actually result in people getting picked. So I think this is actually a perfectly fine play. I think if you get picked here, it's like kind of crazy. But I think recognize, look, if my team wants to play back, then play back. You don't have to all play up there, right? I don't think that's objectively the right thing for everyone to necessarily be playing up in all situations, right? Maybe it could have been slightly better than the option they chose, but their option is not like throwing. It's reasonable. Don't even bother wasting time on this. Yeah. Like, you can try to bully the Winston out of here if you know that you're going to get heals and the Winston isn't. But like in this situation, it's not necessarily getting a lot of value. But like locking him down for now is fine, right? Just preventing him from engaging, that's fine. And then looking for your engage after this. I understand that I'm kind of winning the sustain war for now, or was, and you can keep bullying. So another obvious coach gun. So same deal with coach gun, okay? Jumping straight at an Ashe or Ana is basically, or Brig, is basically always going to result in no value at higher ranks. You need to figure out how to either make the jump as quick as possible so they can't do it, or you need to bait it out somehow, or you need to go for somebody else. So if I'm doing this, I don't need to go for the Ana or the Ashe. I can just jump here, right? If I jump over here, bubble, I can do double damage, right, against the Winston and the BAP, and I'm going to force something out of the BAP, and probably my teammates can follow up and get a kill. I don't need to go for the back two here. This is a really far jump, and it's really easy to shut you down, and you don't get their jump in, and you're forced bubble out, and you're super low. Right? And now you're still trying to engage with no health, presumably because you think you're going to primal, but like this is not the time. Like I just want to chill, right? I don't want to force anything out right now until I feel like my team are in control and ready to do something. Your team are getting pushed back by their high ground, which I don't think you're aware of, and then you're trying to jump in here all by yourself. You see? Like, there's no real help here other than the Reaper, right? Cassie's all the way over here. I think the timing here is wrong. I think you need to get healed before you pop Primal. All right. Ana sleeps you. That's fine. She leaves. What's the goal right now? Is it to chase the Ana, or is it to do something about the rest of the team? Do something about the rest of the team. The Ana's effectively out of the fight anyway. Like, she's walked all the way back. Who cares? Forget the Ana. Go after, like, the Ashe, for example, right here, right? Or go back over here and help kill the Winston, or protect your backline, or anything. Literally anything that's not chasing the Ana. Because the Ana has already taken herself out of the fight by going backwards. The fact that you're chasing here is bad. If you get this kill, right, which I think you ended up doing, is that a good play or a bad play? It's a bad play. Because the Ana is already out of the fight. I don't need to kill her. You're just taking yourself out of the fight as well. Chasing somebody all the way back to the spawn and killing them is not good when your objective is not moving. Right? Like, who cares right now that this kill happens? Now all you're doing is staggering yourself. Like, this is the type of, like, basic level game sense understanding around what you need to be doing that is missing right now on Winston. Okay, so I'm going to skip this guy. Nothing really effectual happens after this anyway. Let's go back to Winston, or Roadhog, right? So you go Roadhog maybe to try to counter or something like that. But your Roadhog play is very problematic. It's significantly worse than your Winston play. Okay, so you set up here. This is totally fine. All right, you're waiting. Trap hits. You're sitting here waiting for a hook. I would note that when you put the trap down, they actually hear that. Right? Like, that gives them, like, some warning that you are there. So I think that is a mistake, right? If you're going to be sneaky like that, you can't be throwing the trap as they come up. That's really bad. So you could have just set up the trap initially. Also, having the trap over here tells them that there's a Roadhog in the game, which they wouldn't know until they see you or 15 seconds have gone by. So you've given up the element of surprise twice here, which makes it easier for the Tracer to dodge the hook. Okay, come over here. You got 3 seconds. Everything is based around hooks, right? You miss hooks as Roadhog, you're throwing, right? You land hooks, you're often carrying. So Baptiste just walks up. I don't know why you're playing so far back. If you hear somebody walking up, you can engage here, right? At the corner, you're fine. Even if you get slept here, you're totally fine. Slept naded, you're not gonna die like in that choke as long as you have cover, right? But you should be playing up to get more damage in. Because if you were playing up here, like if I hear this, I would have been up here and I would just been chasing the Bap down, shooting him. I don't even need a hook. I can just kill him with a gun. So Ash is over there, too far away. So forget the Ash. Not your job to deal with the Ash. Your job is to keep your core alive. Your whole team is relying on you controlling this space over here, right? If you're going to play Roadhog, like that's got to be your goal. Control this space right here, and then your team should be okay. Because your whole team is playing, right? Or at least with the Torb, right? You and the Torb are playing to counter the Winston. That's got to be your job in the situation. That's all you have to do. Prevent the Winston from getting any good value. Hook anybody else who comes near. Don't go chasing after kills that are too far away. And once again, we see the Winston is doing his job. He's jumping in, engaging, and he's going to knock the Torb off, right? And destroy the turret. But where are you? Why are you not hooking him out of the air? Why are you not here trading out for your Torb? You're down here doing nothing. That hook is not even close. All right? And so now we're sitting over here. And then now what? Now you're down 2 heroes and the fight is over, right? Now you have almost no way of winning. I would at least try to kill the Ana here. Right? And like, I get that the fight is over, but it also feels like you're super tilted and you're not even trying to win. Like, if you were the DPS and you saw your Roadhog, would you think, oh, my Roadhog is playing great, I'm just playing poorly, I need to step it up? Or you think, my Roadhog is throwing? Because it looks like you're throwing, right? You're not doing anything, and you're not even trying to do anything at that point in time, like after the Winston engages. You just give up. Like, your mental is just so weak at this point in time. You're like, oh, I'm playing against Smurfs, there's no way I can win. Well, don't play the game, right? If you're going to be like this, don't play, because it's rude for everyone. It's disrespectful to your teammates, and it's disrespectful to you. Like, why would you play if you're not in ranked, if you're not trying to win? That hook is also, again, not going to land, right? It's also slow. Right now, you could have hooked him. But, like, considering that you're a Diamond 3, like, you're like a half second slow on landing things, and like that's kind of a problem for you, right? Especially if you're gonna play Roadhog, where you need to land hooks. At higher ranks, like people can't even react to things. Often you'll see a higher rank product, they'll throw blind hooks because otherwise they never land them because enemies are way too good at dodging them. But like you have windows here to land a hook and you just can't do it. You should have walked outside of the bubble to shoot him, but you miss another hook. Like, okay, so, all right, so let's think about this. We're in final fight territory, okay? No matter what, this is one final fight. The key thing here is you're better at brawling than they are. You just want to trade out damage, look for kills with hook, okay? Do not put yourself in a situation where you can get picked or to let your teammates get picked, right? So, AKA, play defensively here. Don't go crazy. All right, you miss another hook. You get purpled, okay? You can play back. So this shot right here on the Ana is a waste of time. Or the Ash. This shot is complete waste. Okay, the Ash is at 237 health. And then you took an extra shot from the turret. But even with the turret, that did 41 damage. And I think you only did like 30 of that. That shot is a waste of time. You were way too far away. You might as well use the shot or save the ammo on somebody else. Like, for example, the Winston. And having full ammo here on the Winston. I'm healing right now, but like you're not actually really in danger. Right? You're at 667 right now. I'm not thinking I need to heal. I'm thinking, okay, I need to pressure somebody else out. Even just destroying the bubble in 3 shots is worth it. Okay, finally, we got a hook kill. Great, excellent. So that is the first good play that you have made so far. Right? All right, Ash was already nearly dead, but honestly, your DPS did all the work. So great. So we got our one fight win there. Blind hook, I'm okay with that. I mean, I think it was very clearly not going to land, but it's fine. Like it's a low risk situation, low opportunity cost situation, I should say. So we're going back over here, waiting. I think hooking the Winston here is totally fine, right? Hooking the Winston onto the trap, shoot him. He's going to take like 300, 400 damage. Fine, totally fine. It's going to shut down his next dive, right? I don't know what I mean. I feel like you thought you were going to hook there and didn't land it. Now Winston gets his freeze engage, right? Now you get him low, but now he's going to primal. And this is kind of the problem is like you need to be dealing more damage to slow down the enemy team, and we're just not seeing that. And then you hook in the only person here who literally can't die because he is primal. Again, and these are all shots that don't do anything. So first of all, you missed the lamp with the shot. Like look at the shot pattern. Look at the shot pattern here. And the fact that you're trying to hit the lamp is very, very, very bad. A. B, you don't need to kill the lamp. No one is even in the lamp. Literally, nobody is in the lamp, right? It's not a priority. You could just burn people down right now, right? Shoot the Ash, etc. Even hooking her in, even lamp, fine, whatever. Like, just apply damage, slow down the enemy team. You could also hook the Bob right now to prevent him getting to your backline would be good value, right? Hook the Bob and just try to heal and walk out would be totally fine, right? Because right now your Winston's applying pressure on your backline, so you just need to slow down their backline to avoid more pressure on your team. But we're not seeing that. So, all right, we got a hook finally, right? But the problem is you're already very low. And then you're going to die, and that's the end of the game. So, like, it doesn't feel like you know how to play Roadhog at Diamond. Like, the amount of value, at least on Winston, like, I see generally what you probably typically accomplish, okay? And in this game, it was ineffectual because of things like Sleep Dart and Coach Gun and, like, other issues. But on Roadhog, it feels like you swapped to this maybe because you were like tilted and you were like, oh, this will totally stop the enemy Winston. But the enemy Winston is better at Winston than you were at Roadhog, and it shows. You're not accomplishing anything. I also don't feel like the enemy Winston was like amazing or anything like that. We're not seeing him carry the games. He was playing pretty regular, like just pretty safe, goes for safe dives. Pretty normal Winston gameplay from my perspective. But you're on Roadhog over here just whiffing hooks all the time, shooting people from way too far away, not landing enough traps, not applying enough damage pressure, not slowing down the enemy team. And yeah, it turns out if the enemy team just 5v4s you because your tank isn't doing anything, then it's really hard to win games. So I think we can wrap there, right? Again, I think it's the most important thing is stop focusing on your teammates. Right? And stop being like, oh, this game is unwinnable because of my DPS or whatever. You're making so many mistakes. There is no point in blaming your teammates, okay? Maybe your teammates underperformed. I don't necessarily know that they did because, again, as we saw, mostly is your teammates actually getting kills and pushing the fight along. You basically never get kills other than kills that your teammates follow up on or your teammates set up for you. So don't focus on your teammates, right? Just focus on you. Just focus on what you can do, how you can improve, how you can play better, because there's so much here already. And yeah, it's possible that you could have won this game if you played better. Not even like a lot better. Just like basic jumping, bubbling technique would have made a huge difference. And I think playing Winston in the second round would have given you a much higher chance of winning than Roadhog, which I think gave you very, very little. Right? I think that Roadhog gave you almost no value here. All right, I'm going to hold there. Hopefully this is helpful.